friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you're here spending part of your day or your evening with me. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We're really glad that you're here. We have, I think, a lot of fun here, and thanks if you're returning as well. So yesterday was Earth Day. In our magazine monthly challenge group on Facebook, we are doing a Earth What's It Worth weekly challenge. It is wrapping up. So that has been a lot of fun to see the projects everybody is working on. And then part of that is that they have to tell us a fact about the Earth or Earth Day, and we are also doing a little trivia question each day just for fun. So I'm actually learning a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. So I hope that you will join us over in the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, and we also just wrapped up our monthly Zoom meeting as well, which is always so much fun, a little bit enabling, and but such joy to spend time with all of you. My week has been very, very busy. It was registration for students, so there's a lot of questions about what should I register for classes, for fall term, that type of thing. And the semester is wrapping up, which is good. My students had a big poster session, I guess, at the library on Tuesday, which went really, really well. It's the first time I've done that as a project for class, and I think it went really well. There weren't a ton of people that stopped by, but it's kind of an odd time because we really have to use class time. So there's a lot of other classes happening at that same time, but the students really liked it, which is important. And then really what we have left is we have a final exam and then presentations, and the semester will be done. This semester has just kind of really wiped me out for some reason. I think it might be being in person, and I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's just been a very tiring week, lots happening. So it's nice to have the weekend, and it's 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, which I'll talk about a little bit later. I'm still going through my comments, so I didn't get through all the comments on the last video. So if you asked a question, I haven't gotten to it yet. Hang tight, I will get to it next week for sure. But last weekend in my video, I did mention that, oh, wouldn't it be great if somebody could come up with a website with all the different retreats that are happening for us? And both Carol and Lisa said Sable Stitcher is actually working on a website to collect kind of all the retreats that are taking place. So check out Sable Stitcher if you want to learn more about the website. I don't know much about it at all other than she is creating one. So wonderful. Thank you to Carol and Lisa for that helpful information. All right, so let's get into what I worked on this week. Okay, so first up, for the monthly acrostic for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, this month the word was bookmark. And for the 2 O's, I stitched on Stained Glass Window. This is by Tangled Threads and Things. This is what it will look like. And I started kind of up in this area. And this is in the April 2021 Just Cross Stitch magazine. That is the cover. And the O is because I am stitching this for a family, and the little boy's name in the family starts with O. So this is going to be a gift for that family. Okay, so I stitched on it for 3 days. So I got about 9 hours in, and this is where I got to. So I did do a little bit like these blue chunks. There's like probably 4 different blues in this little section. That's how you get the stained glass effect, right? And then I stitched the rest of the time in here. You can sort of to see the cross coming through, but you see all the rays there. A lot of color changes in this, a lot of counting, but it did, when I sat down and started doing it, I mean, it did start to kind of come together pretty quickly. My goal on this piece is 18 hours for the year. I think I've already done 12 hours, so it will likely only come out a couple more times this year. But anyway, and this is stitched on 28 count French lace linen. It is the called for, so it's kind of see-through. but I think they will enjoy that when it's done. I don't know if she knows I'm stitching it. I sent her a picture of it a while ago, probably a year ago, and I said, if I stitch this for you, would you like this or whatever? And she said, I would hang it in my house with pride. So we'll see. I couldn't tell if she was joking or not, but I think they'll enjoy it. So I did stitch on that. And then for my WIPGO, my second WIPGO piece for this month, for my WIPGO pieces, each block is 12 hours of stitching. And this is also for the Garon Designer Focus of the month. So the Designer Focus is either ink circles or long dog. I don't have any ink circles started. I'm trying to not start extra things because I'm already starting a ton of things this year. So I'm going to do long dog. So so I kind of doubled up on this one, but this is long dog. This is Death by Cross Stitch. This is what it will look like when it's done. I am way up here. So I worked in this area here and kind of over in here. So I'm kind of like this. I did this motif, started on this one, and kind of worked over here. So I am done with, mostly done with page 1. I think you see this little tiny triangle right there. I still have to stitch that. And then I'm officially done with page 1. But I couldn't be bothered with that. So I'm well into page 2. Page 2, I'm looking at it right behind here. Page 2 starts like right about here. Like, so right at the edge of that unicorn piece is page 2. So, and I'm over into here. So, I'll just show it to you about that. Okay. So this is where I'm at. This is what it looks like. I am using the same color palette as I'm using for Hoity Toity, which is Jan Hicks Creates her color version. And since this is supposed to be a monochromatic piece, I don't have a rhyme or reason. I'm just throwing in what I think I'll like in which space. So I stitched on this. I got about 12 and a half hours in on this week. So I got this motif done. I had stitched in this this border here this is a lot of this dark blue that you see is DMC 939. I ripped it out and I put in this color here, which is Briar Rose from, I'm not sure. I can't remember who it's from now. It's one of the specialty. It's either Weeks or Gast, probably. They are supposed to have little like back stitching, like a one line that goes to that center stitch and then out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I actually didn't even notice. I'm using a working copy. I believe it's a working copy. I'm marking it all up. So if it's not the working copy, then I'm marking up the original. But I think it's the working copy. And the back stitching is very, very light and hard to read. So like I almost didn't see it. I was like, this doesn't look right. What am I doing wrong? And I actually there's a Death by Cross Stitch Facebook page. And so I went there to look at somebody else's, and then I saw, oh, that is back stitching. It's just really light, so it's really hard to tell if it's back stitched or not. So anyway, so each of these kind of like flying geese type motifs are supposed to have a little line in it. I think maybe to make a flower. I'm not sure if I'm going to put them in though, because I don't know that I like it just like this. So anyway, so I did this motif, and then I redid this little border. I started on this flying geese motif over here, and I did all of this up here. So it felt like not a whole lot, especially for like 12 and a half hours of stitching, right? This is on 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, so it's easy to stitch on, but it just, I don't know, it didn't seem like a whole lot. But I'm enjoying it. This one, is a big piece. It's bigger than Hoity Toity is. But I really, really love the colors and how they're coming together. And you kind of, in terms of picking the colors and what goes where, it helps to look at it from afar, but also, you really can't go wrong with the colors. So let me hold it up here. There you go. So I'm about partway through page 2. So that is what it looks like. And so this this is on my WhipGo board 4 times. I think this was the first time it actually came up. I almost got ink on it. I didn't though. And this is the first time it's come up on my WhipGo board, so we will be seeing it a few more times this year, which will be nice to see the kind of the overall progress. What I plan to do at the end of the year when I do my whip parade is show you where I started the year on these pieces, so we can get a good look at, if I work on these a little bit each month, or have it on my WhipGo board 4 times throughout the year. How much progress do we get from when we start? So that'll be fun to see. So I did that, and so again, that was WhipGo and Focus on a Designer. And then, so I am participating in 24 hours of cross stitch. Like I said, my goal this weekend is just 15 hours because I'm going to see Hamilton tonight, which I'm super, super excited about. So I won't get tonight. The show's at 8 p.m. I won't get, stitching in tonight. It's a 3-hour show, right? So I'm hoping, so last night I stitched about 5 hours. I'm hoping to get 4 in today. I was hoping to get 6 done last night, but I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. And then of course I lay awake in bed till 3 a.m. anyway, but, so I'm going to try to get 4 hours in before I have to get ready and leave for Hamilton. And then tomorrow I'll do 6 hours. So what I pulled out last night, okay, let me back up for a second. So my StitchCon piece, I'm abandoning it. I'm still going to stitch it for myself. But I think it's just a little too much. It's a little too intricate. More coffee or less? I'm not sure. Let's try more. It's just a bit much for a small. And I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you now. Okay. So this is what I was working on for StitchCon. This is the Blue Flower Tudor Bee. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's just it's going quite slowly for me. And I know part of it is I need to just dedicate some time to it. This is where I'm at so far. And so I still have this whole border and the whole bee, and I was looking, I'm like, well, I could just do the bee, or I could just do this or that or the other. No, so and then I kept looking, I'm like, but I love the colors, and I don't know. I'm going to stitch it for me, is basically what we're coming down to. So I am not doing this for StitchCon. This is on 32 count, you know what it is, Country Vintage Mocha. I think it's going to be so pretty. It's by the Blue Flower. I love it. I'm going to get the finishing, like I want to finish it just like that she has done here because I love that pink. Its model is trimmed with Barn Door Chanel, backed with Shallot Velveteen from Lady Dots Creates. So that's what I was going to work on. I ordered something new from 123 Stitch, which is not here yet. And I was going to work on that over 24 hours of cross stitch. But because it's not here yet, and I don't know if I'll have time to actually stitch on it and finish it and fully finish it by StitchCon, so I might sit out this round of the Smalls Exchange and try to be better prepared for next year. So with all that to get to, so last night I pulled out Princess Ileana by Mirabilia. This one, if you remember, I restarted at the beginning of this year on a different fabric. I used to have that huge giant piece of with the ballroom fabric. I still need to get that ready to sell on a stash unload site. It had the ballroom picture. It would have been very beautiful, but it was so big. It was just so big that I was not enjoying anything about it. So in January during ABC and Go, no, this was restarted, it was not for ABC and Go. It was restarted for Candy of the 614's Stitcher. It's restarted for her birthday because she wanted us to work on a Mirabilia for her birthday. And I asked her, I have 2 I'm working on, Royal Holiday or Princess Ileana. And she said, work on Princess Ileana for me. I said, okay, I can do that. Now, let me show you. So I restarted it. So I am right in here. You see those 3 little flowers right in there? That is where I am. I have a long way to go. But so if you think of that, because I started kind of in the center. So if you think about that, and this is where I'm at now. So everything you see, like the orange and the purples, that is what I did last night. I only worked on this for a couple hours after I worked on Death by Cross Stitch for 3 hours last night. Then I pulled this out and worked on this for a couple hours. So my goal for today, after I'm done here, is to edit and upload this video and then stitch on this for 4 hours. So hopefully we'll see a lot more progress. I'm loving this fabric way more. This is on a 32 count color and cotton Parthenon. It was one of the fabrics of the month from last year. This is 32 count and there are a lot of beads, so I'm a little nervous about how that will work. But people do it. I already have the bead pack, so I really don't want to change to like delicate beads or petite beads, unless you think I should. So please give me any tips about beading on 32 count instead of 28 count. I think for next year, I'm going to change whatever fabric of the month club I get into. I think I'm going to change it to 28 count, so because I hardly have any in my stash, and I'd like to, up that part of my stash. So this is where we are at. I love the colors. This particular piece uses all the new DMCs, like the 1 through 35. So that's really fun. And, it's a Mira. So, and she's just gorgeous. So I love her and I love stitching on her. So that is what I worked on this week. So let's get into haul. So I have a bit of not weird, but a little bit of weird. Okay. So I got a haul. I got an order from 123 Stitch. Yes, another one that was basically, I ordered all the anchor floss for Purple Rain, which is a Haid. Let me see if I don't think I have the picture printed. I don't. I'll try to insert a picture here. So it's called Purple Rain. It's spelled R-E-I-G-N. It's a Haid. I'm doing the mini version. I'm starting it with Candy, again, from the 614 Stitcher. We're starting it June 7th for Prince's birthday. This pattern calls for all anchor floss, not DMC. So I got a bunch of the anchor floss from 123 Stitch. I'm assuming because DMC doesn't have quite a good enough range of purple flosses, which is why she used anchor for this. And so on the Zoom call, I started descanning, whatever you call it, prepping them on my floss drops to prepare to start stitching. But as you can see, I still have a lot more to go. So I got that. And then also from 123 Stitch, Tina from Tina Stitches and I are starting, and several, Kim from Stitch and Stuff, I know we talked her into it. It wasn't very hard. She's very impressionable, which I love that about you, Kim. We're starting a stitching shelf in August 12th. And so we're working on getting our floss and fabric and all that. And I'm not sure what fabric. So what I've learned about myself is that I like 18 count, 2 strands over 1. That is my sweet spot. I don't like 25 count because you really do need to use 1 strand, and I don't like working on 1 strand. But it's such a big piece. A stitching shelf is such a big piece. So I got a couple sample pieces. This is just 20 count white Aida, like just to practice. This is the smallest piece they had. Just to practice full coverage on and see if I like it. If I can do this for a whole huge piece. And then this one is a 1/4 yard of 22 count Hardanger fabric. And I figure, I can always reuse this piece for something else. So I'm going to do some practice full coverage stitching, see if one of these to make the piece a bit smaller. It'd be awesome if the 22 works well for me. That's this one. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to spend a little time. 20 count Ada. Yeah. I'll have to spend a little time playing around with that before I order my piece. And I still haven't ordered my fabric yet for the Prince piece. I want to get a purple Ada with a bit of purple background, and they're all out on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I'm wondering if they aren't discontinuing them. I don't know, maybe not, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is an 18 count like purple Ada, so that all these purples, I didn't show you a good, you haven't gotten a good feel for these beautiful colors. Like here's some purple, here's some more of the threads. So this is how I'm going to organize it too, in case you're wondering. So there's about 87 to 90 colors in this. So for bigger projects, I've been liking the floss rings lately. And I just use the Annie Keepers tabs because when I'm done with this project, they're just going to go right back into my storage, right? So they're already prepped for that storage. And I just get the big rings. I got these on Amazon. I'm not sure. These are like the 3.25 inch rings. And then I just label them, right? And then I know what color they are. So this is what I am working on prepping. Now, Stitching Shelf has 238 colors because I'm doing max colors, so I'm not going to use this system because this would be like 12 of these rings, and I think it would just be too cumbersome. For the Prince piece, there's only going to be 4 rings with 20 floss drops on each ring, which is manageable. So we were talking today at the Zoom call about people were giving us tips and tricks and different ideas about how they use their threads, how they do thread storage, especially for large pieces. So we were talking about it. I might explore like a binder for Stitching Shelf because it has so many colors. All right, so that was my 1-2-3 stitch order and what's happening. I also got an order from Etsy from a shop called Crossed and Stitches USA, which I will link down below because I love her. Her name is April. She's amazing. So in doing these drops on the ring, a lot of times my hesitation with using these is one, I feel like Simon agrees with my feelings here. I will lose where the beginning is, right? And so these are all in numeric order, but then as you flip through it to find one, it gets out of order. I want a beginning spot, right? And also I worry about what if this, I mean, it shouldn't get separated from the project bag, but what if it does? And then I'm stuck with like, what project are these threads for? So what I wanted is I wanted a thread drop tag, which is this. April on Crossed and Stitches USA sells these thread drops. Not these. These are Annie's Keepers. She sells her own variety. They're a different size. And so you could get them from her. I messaged her and I said, do you do custom orders? This is what I'm looking for. And she said she does. So it doesn't have the hole in the bottom, right? Because this isn't meant to be a thread drop. It's just meant to be a tag. So I don't want it to have that hole in the bottom. And so I got several of these. So she custom made them for me. She cut them to the same kind of width as the Annie's Keepers. I got the purple. I got several sets. She basically said, tell me what, we've worked on the size. She said, based on what she has in her shop, you pick out the colors that you want. This is like, I don't know if you can tell this. Here comes Simon, by the way. Yeah, there it is. It's sparkly purple for Prince. I got, some spring ones. She basically, the custom order was tell me how many pieces you want. So I got, for Prince, I got 5 pieces of these. And then, I got some for the montages, the spring montage, summer, winter, autumn montage pieces that I'm starting with Stitching Mommy. Because I'm liking these rings for the pieces that have the 80, 90 colors. These are working well for me. And then, so what happens then, so I'm going to label it. I haven't labeled it yet, but I'm going to label it so I can put, oh, this is Anchor Floss. So I'll put that on this label so I don't accidentally, some of the numbers you can tell they're not DMC, but some of them it's like you wouldn't necessarily know, right? So I'm going to put this anchor floss as a reminder to me whenever I finish prints, and I put this away. This doesn't go in the DMC. This goes in the anchor. And then when I'm like searching for a number, I can just fold it back. But I can always tell, because you see that purple sticking out, I can tell where the beginning is of this ring, right? So I can just flip it back around. And I can write the name, anchor floss, purple rain, and then this will, you know, from the side, you can tell, you know, that this is the beginning of my ring. So I got, you know, she has great, and she also has the thread drops, which you can get, and I really like it. I didn't bring them all downstairs. I put them all away already, but super, super communicative, super willing to work with me on like a custom project. I think her prices are very reasonable. Some of the ones, one of the patterns I picked out wasn't in this plastic. It was, or acrylic. It was in MDF. MDF? Is that right? And which is totally fine. I mean, it's just a different material, but it's same function, right? So if you have that problem that I have, you know, check out her shop, and or if you're looking for thread drops that are really cute and really pretty, because hers are amazing, check her out. She's awesome. We're calling these, I think, thread drop tags. So if you are looking for something like this without the hole, you can just message her and let her know. But yeah, she had great service, super communicative, shipping super great. I mean, it was a custom order, and she had it shipped within like a day or two. It was amazing. So love that. I had, this was something that was on my Amazon wish list from Christmas, and I finally just bought it because it was like $11, and I really want it because I think it's really darling. It's this Gold Collection Dimensions kit. It's a petite, so it's very small, and it's called A Kiss for Snowman, and I think it's darling. Somebody is working on this. Sarah? Stitchy Mummy, are you working on this? Maybe not. Somebody's working on it. It's a kit, so it comes with the floss and the DMC, 14 count Aida, I think it is. 18 count white Aida. So I'll probably just use that. You know, I'll probably just use the kit, the stuff that came with it. I think it's darling. Just to say, it's 6 by 6 inches. Not sure if the stitch count is on the outside here. I haven't opened it yet or anything. I don't see a stitch count, but I think it's darling. I had to have it. I just love the colors in her coat and her hat. So I got that. And then I got my June 2022 issue of Just Cross Stitch. So I plan tomorrow, my break from stitching tomorrow for 24 hours cross stitch will be to film a flip through of this for you. And I also got my first ever Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This was a 2-year subscription, was a gift from the Sunshine Stitchers for my birthday. The gift that keeps on giving. I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, the paper in this magazine is amazing. Especially, I mean, I'm not knocking Just Cross Stitch, but my Just Cross Stitch magazines have been falling apart. You saw my stained glass window. Like, I'm not hard on it. Basically, I open it up, I make a working copy of the chart I'm working on, and then that's it. And the pages are already falling out of this. Like, the pages are very thin, which I get. Paper is expensive, and I understand that. These pages are so thick and so nice, and I love it. So I'm also going to do a flip through of this for you tomorrow. This is the Spring 2022 issue. And I'm wondering, I was looking through this, and so I want to know, how long do you think it will be before I'm like, I want to give Punch Needle a try? There's some beautiful designs in here. So I got that as well. So love that. So that's my haul. And then plans. So plans for this coming week and next weekend and all that. So my next video will be on Sunday next week because I'm working at Acorns and Threads on Saturday. So if you're in the area and you want to stop into Acorns and I can help you in person, that would be amazing. I don't know how to do the cash register yet, so, but yeah, we are open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, April 30th. I'll be working. So I will film on Sunday next week. And then I'm going to work on Princess Eliana the rest of today. And then the rest of the week, I mean, it's going to be kind of a quiet stitching week. I mean, not a lot of variety, I guess I should say. I'm going to start on block 4 of Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, which is this block right here. We finished block 3. We haven't even touched block 4 yet. It's the 4th month of the year. I'm slow on this one, you guys. I am. I'll be honest, I'm a little burnt out. But we're going to start on this, see how far we can get. I mean, my goal is to get number 4 done this month. Well, actually, I probably should be on number 5, I think, this month, or 6 even. But we're going to start number 4. We're going to get as much done as we can this week. So I'll get 6 hours in tomorrow, because that's my goal, and then 3 hours the rest of the week. So I'll be working on this the rest of the month, essentially. And then when I do come back in next Sunday, I will go over all my May plans, because for May, I'm going to be finishing a bunch of things. A bunch of the small projects I have. We're gonna aim to finish some of those up and get them done. So yeah, so those are my plans. So before we go, though, I'm trying to grab stuff around a cat that is sitting here, which is, not the easiest thing to do. Okay. We got it. We're good. We're all good. Before we go, I have giveaways. We have hit 4,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Thank you, everyone. I remember I was talking with my friend Sam, and I was like, I remember I was like, when I uploaded my first video, and I'm like, I think I had like 6 people who had subscribed to me, and I was like, I don't even know these 6 people. This is amazing to me. And I love our community. there's going to be a cat walking by here. I love how patient you all are with me. And we just have fun. And I find the cross stitch community one of the kindest, most accepting communities around. So I really appreciate all of you. And I'm going to keep doing these as long as you keep watching them. So thank you so much. So in order to thank you and to celebrate, I have some giveaways. I was going to do 4, right? 4 for 4K, but I actually have 5 because I wanted one for the international people. So these 4 are all for US only, because I'm sorry, but shipping is outrageous. I sent a chart to someone not in the US, and I don't want to say where in case, because I don't want them to feel bad. But to ship the chart overseas, and it wasn't that far, it was to Europe, it was like $16, which I can't keep doing that. So yeah, it was very, very expensive. So I'm going to have to say US only for now, but we'll do it like a PDF one for the international folks. So first up, we have from By the Bay Needle Art. This is Donna Bayless. This is called Grow Your Faith. And so you can see it says Grow Your Faith down here, and these beautiful daisy flowers, which I love. The model is stitched on a 28 count sage even weave from Fabric Flair. And if you stitch it on 28 count or 16 count Aida, it will fit in an 8x10 frame that you can just pick up anywhere. Hers is a white frame. It is 116 stitches by 82 stitches. And it's mostly DMC, a couple Weeks Dye Works, but you can sub those out if you want. So Grow Your Faith, and the keyword for this will be faith. So if you're interested in that, say faith. Next up, we have a couple of Rosewood Manors, courtesy of Gavron Stitchery and Karen Kluba. So they sent me a stack of charts to give away, and I just haven't done it yet. So let's give some away. So this one is called 1 Dozen Quakers, which is super, super fun. I love this. I love the colors. I don't have the colors, like I'd have to open it up, and I don't want to open it. So I don't know the size or anything like that. This is from 2012. Can you see that? Yeah. So, you can stitch one of these Quakers for a small or something. There's a lot you could do with this. Stitch them all in a row. Stitch it as charted, whatever you want. Use up colors from your stash. For this one, say Quaker. Quaker. And then the next one is also a Rosewood Manor. I also love this one. I think it's so pretty. It's called Two Blue Birds. Can you find the two blue birds on this chart, people? Right there. 1 and 2. And it looks like there's some black work. Yeah, some black work around here, which makes, like, it's so unique. This is also from 2012. Two blue birds. I think it's so pretty. And again, you can stitch one of these as a small, right? Be creative with how you stitch it. For this one, say bird. Bird is the word. All right, and then the next one I have, this is a kit. I got this at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in October. It's by Who Stitches. It's all about the acorn. It's an acorn falling through the air. I really love it. I think it's darling. I just have so many other things I'm going to stitch. So I wanted to give it to somebody who will stitch it and enjoy it and stitch it sooner and probably faster than I will get to it. It's super cute. It comes, well, I can't show you. It comes with the floss. There's DMC and some weeks, I think, in there. And it comes with the fabric and, of course, the chart and everything. So I am going to give that away. And if you want that, say acorn. I did get into the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit for September. It is now full, but they are taking wait lists. So they are doing it either over Zoom or in person. I'm doing in person. And the designers are Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches and Janine McGowan from the Blue Flower. So it should be super fun. And then for our international friends, I'm going to do a $10 gift certificate to Heaven and Earth Designs. So if you have been wanting to purchase a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, if you want to join us for Purple Rain, like I said, I'm doing the mini, and the mini is like $12 when it's not on sale. So this will almost cover it. They only have gift certificates in certain amounts. So a $10 gift certificate to Heaven and Earth Designs, so you can purchase a PDF copy of a chart of your choice. Maybe you'll join us for a Stitch in Time. You certainly don't. A Stitching Shelf. They have two versions. So one is called a Stitching Shelf. One is called a Stitch in Time. The Stitch in Time version has an icon in the middle that says a Stitch in Time. The Stitching Shelf does not. So we'll do $10. And for that one, just say Haid. Haid is spelled Haed. Haid, if you want to be entered for that. And as usual, please don't say giveaway. Please don't say anything like that. We want to keep the spammers away. I want these items to go to people who actually enjoy cross-stitching. And then we'll draw names next week for our winners. And I think that's everything. This is a lot longer video than I expected. So I think we are all set. I'm going to pick up here, eat some lunch, and get to stitching. My needles better be on fire this afternoon. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you all next Sunday. Bye.